Hello, McKenzie. The video before this, Misty detuned your guitar and you had to tune to me by listening and making sure that your strings match the same pitch as mine. We're gonna do something different. Get your mom, pause this video, get your mom. Misty, I want you to detune the guitar, but leave the very top string, leave that one alone. So you can detune all the others. Now, off you go. So, don't be sad, McKenzie, we'll get through this. So your low E should be fine. This is how to tune the guitar to itself. This is what Eddie Van Halen used to do. He would hit the low E, he'd actually have an E flat, which is a half step lower. We'll get into all that stuff. But he'd be like, okay, I'll just tune the rest of the guitar to that note because I feel it's E flattish, sounds good. So now here's where we start using fingers on frets. Now, take your first finger and you're gonna put it, that's your first fret there. You don't put your finger right on the metal. You put it slightly behind the metal. You don't put it in the back. So if your first fret is chunky, you don't put it here because hear that buzzing? That's called fret buzz. You don't want that. So if you put it right behind the fret, sounds a bit better. There you go. So I'll just quickly show you. That's about right. Back here, that's bad. That's poor. That's about right. Yeah, I mean, if you put it exactly on the fret, right on the metal part, it buzzes. It's dull. That sounds garbage. So okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the 5th fret, which is your second marker. You can even count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just behind the metal. But it's, if you're looking here with your dots, it's the second dot. So that is an A. There's your E, your low E. This is an A. This is what your next string should sound like. What I do is this. I go like this. I put my hand over it like this, and I touch it here. Now it's out, right? Because you need to play these two notes at the same time. Now, if you're, I was gonna say talented, but if you're good enough to, and you gotta use your fingertips, you can absolutely do it this way if you want. If it's hard, make sure your thumb is maybe halfway in the middle of the neck. If you have small hands, you wanna bring your left hand right down. Don't put your thumb over the neck. You're not Jimi Hendrix, okay? Just trust me. Put it in the middle of the neck. If your hands are smaller, put it lower. Like, give yourself a break, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying, that's why I cheat and do it this way. Because then there's nothing stopping that open A string. Okay, so these don't sound right. Now the goal is, what you usually do is you do this. Play both at the same time. That sounds flat. Oh, I gotta get into flats, don't I? Okay, there's an A note. Flat means that there's your A note. Flat means it's lower than the A note. Flat is a little bit below. Sharp, this is a little bit above. So flat's down here. Sharp is up higher. So if that's A sharp is a half step higher. Anyways, we'll get to that later. But that sounds, there's a, wow, that's almost an A flat. So there's A flat. And that's still a bit off, but what we want is this open A string to sound like that. So now you gotta play both. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. I gotta tighten. They gotta sound alike, exactly alike. If I go too high, now I'm going too high. It sounds garbage. So you just gotta decide which way you think. That sounds about right. Playing both together. That'll do, you know what I'm saying? So, yay, that took what, all of 5 minutes? Good. Now you gotta do the next string. So you put your first finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and then you play the D note, or I'm sorry, the D note here. This is a D note. And match it with this open D string. You gotta do the same thing. A lot of people will go, and then they'll stop, and then they'll just tweak this. That's getting better. It's as good as it's gonna get. There you go. You ready? Now do the same exact thing. Just go across here to the D string, 5th fret. So you're gonna play this G note here at the 5th fret and your open G string. That's not too bad. It's still bad, but it's not horrible. That's almost 12 string material. And then you just tweak that. You just got to remind yourself, if you're tuning upward, if it starts going grossly out of tune, you got to turn back the other way. Are those dogs? Sounds about right. Now, when you get to the tuning the B string, you take your finger on the G string, you go to the 4th fret. So you're doing 4th fret here on the G, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're doing the open B string. Nice. It's going to be a challenge just to get that ringing out and the open string below it. Just deal with it. Everything is going to suck in the beginning. Everything is going to be hard. Just got to do it. And now, when you're tuning your high E string here, you come back up to the 5th fret. Whoops. You just want it to sound like one string when you're hitting both. You play a chord. Well, I'll show you the chord later. Now what I'm going to do is go get your tuner, and I'll get mine, which is right here. I'll turn mine on, and I'll see how off I was. Low E should be fine, but A, I was a little bit sharp. D was spot on. G was a little bit flat. B will be a little bit flat because if the G was flat, the B is going to be flat because it's kind of how it works. High E was flat as well. So, recap. Your tuning, you do your low E at the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you hit the A note, because every fret has got a new note name. So E, don't memorize this, I'll get to it, but E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So now we're at A, so now we just want matching A notes. And then to tune the D string, you go to the A string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're tuning the G string, take the D string to the 5th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to count. It's the 2nd marker. Come on. If you're gonna tune that guy, 4th fret G, so drop back here, and then for the high E, 5th fret B string. Good luck.